Hi, I'm Rita. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Life Worth Reading. And today I'm going to be telling you all about my summer TBR. This year I haven't really been doing monthly TBRs. I feel like it's better for me to do seasonal TBRs. I'm trying to play a little bit around with some formatting and different types of videos that really just don't work if I stick to a very strict monthly TBR. So I'm trying to start doing more seasonal TBRs. So I've done my spring TBR a couple of months ago. Have I finished that? Have I completed that? No, I'm still working on it. But it is now time. It is hot summer nights, it's mid-July, and it is time to tell you about all the books that I want to read this summer. In order to have the best chance at success, I have picked only 6 books to talk about, and I feel like if I read 2 a month, then it'll be good. If I read a little bit more, I'll get over it faster, but I feel like 6 books is the right amount for me to finally succeed in completing a seasonal TBR. So without further ado, let's just get into it. I also have a wide mix of genres here, so I can stay entertained and not get bored of reading a single genre. I am going to start this TBR with a book that I'm currently reading, but when I planned out my summer TBR, this was in it. I hadn't had the time to film it yet, but it is Detransition Baby by Tori Peters. This is a buddy read that I'm doing with my friend Mafalda over at Mafalda is Reading, and we are, honestly, she suggested it. This was on her summer TBR, and since I do have the physical book with me as well, I suggested that we do a buddy read, which we are currently doing. I am on page 60 of this book, and this book is about a queer couple, Amy and Reese, and they break up because one of them did transitions. And so this book is basically about that. It's a contemporary about queer issues. It's very messy, but it's very entertaining so far. I don't know why. I do love a contemporary from time to time, and I feel like these types of contemporaries are really good for summer. Not that this doesn't deal with heavy topics, it does, but at the same time, I just feel like this is a great pick for the summer months and to read just a little bit more chill. And I am very, very excited to see where this is going because I am really enjoying it so far. Then we have a nonfiction that I'm also currently reading. We have Sister Outsider by Audre Lorde. This is a queer Black feminist manifesto about just women's issues, specifically Black women's issues, queer women of color issues, and I am really, really enjoying this so far. It's a collection of essays about different topics like sexuality, politics, identity, violence, and it is, I feel like it's, it's one of those books that is like required reading. It's something that I'm very interested in. I am very interested in the figure of Audre Lorde and what she has done for the feminist movement, and specifically the Black and queer feminist movement. And this is just what I would consider a required reading, and even though, again, it is not like the light summary read, I feel like reading an essay from time to time, now that I have more time, now that I don't have university, and now that I don't have a big girl job yet, I can think more about what I'm reading and I can digest it more because I'm not being overworked by other things, which means that I have the next couple of weeks to give it my full attention, which is, I feel like, really necessary for these types of nonfiction books. Then, completely changing the gears of the genres that I'm reading, I have The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is a YA, I'm going to say mystery. It's not really a thriller. Yeah, it's more of a mystery. And I have been thinking about reading this book for a couple of years now. And I finally gave in and I bought the whole trilogy. So I have the trilogy with me. I've only picked out this book for the TBR, but I do feel like I'm going to binge read this trilogy. And I just feel like summer, it's such a perfect time to read a low stakes, like, YA mystery. I know this is about a girl, Avery, who, when a billionaire dies, he leaves her virtually his entire fortune. And now I'm going to read you the only catch. Avery must move into his sprawling mansion full of secret passages, riddles, and codes. And it is also occupied by the family, and so they have 4 Haythorne, which is the family grandson, dangerous magnetic boys who grew up with every expectation that one day they would inherit billions. This gives me a lot of Knives Out vibes, which is a movie that I feel like we all loved. Was it just me? Like, I really loved that movie when I first watched it. And I don't know, I'm just really into the riddles, clues, game types of books, and I feel like summer is just a perfect time to read this, like at the beach. Like I envision that for myself, and I want that for myself, and I feel like it's going to be such a good time. I've heard that this trilogy doesn't really get better. I've heard that the first book is maybe the best one, but I have committed. I have bought the trilogy. I have committed. I'm going to read the whole thing, and we'll just see which one I like the best. Next up, I have another contemporary that I impulsively bought maybe last year, I think it was, and it's set in summer, which is why I think it will be the perfect summer read, and that is The Offing by Benjamin Myers. I love this cover so much. It gives me such summer vibes, and apparently it's about I feel like this author is Irish. Is he Irish? Maybe he is. I don't know. I feel like he might be. But it is about a summer following the Second World War, where a 16-year-old Robert Appleyard sets out foot on his Durham village. And he meets an older woman, Dulcie, who lives in a ramshackle cottage facing out the sea, and she introduces him to the pleasure of rich food, sea swimming, sunburn, and poetry. I don't know, it's about their friendship, it's about how they learn from each other, and I am really excited about it. I don't know, I don't feel like I love a lot of the times like the older character meeting a younger character, because I feel like we can all see where this is going, but at the same time I am open to being surprised, and I feel like it'll be a good summer read, and if the writing is good, then that's all that I can ask for, honestly. So I'm very excited to get to this and to read a book off of my physical TBR, because as you might have noticed, except for Sister Outsider, which is a library book, all these books are from my physical TBR, because yeah, I am working on that, honestly. I am working overtime to make that happen. So all these books are from a physical TBR, and I am very happy to be reading them. And finally, we have some books that I did haul very recently because I wanted to read them during summer. And the first one that I have is Chlorine by Jade Song. I'm going to be reading this book so soon, like this week soon. This was on my summer ween TBR, which when I plan out this video, my summer TBR also included my summer ween TBR. But alas, summer ween has ended, and I didn't film this video in time for that. So this was on there. And this is a horror book about a girl who is a swimmer and she wants to become a mermaid, and I feel like there's a lot of body horror and a lot about identity and growing up, and I am very excited about this one. I really hope that I love it as much as I want to, because I committed. Like, I bought the full hardcover like for both of these books because I want them to be 5 stars so bad. And I have committed to that. So we'll just see how this one goes. But I am very delighted to be reading this soon. And you can expect a review from me quite soon. And lastly, I have a fantasy book that I don't really have set plans for. Unlike Chlorine, for example, I don't really have a set time to read this book. But it is The Adventures of Amina al-Sirafi by Shannon Chakraborty. And I am so unbelievably excited. First of all, this is a book about pirates, so how could I not be reading this during the summertime? I absolutely have to. And I know that this is about Amina al-Sirafi, who is an older woman now, and it says that when she is tracked down by the obscenely wealthy mother of a former crewman, she's offered a job no bandit could refuse: retrieve her comrade's kidnapped daughter for a kingly sum. The chance to have one last adventure with her crew, do right by an old friend, and win a fortune that will secure her family's future forever. It seems like such an obvious choice that it must be God's will. Yet the deeper Amina dives, the more it becomes alarmingly clear there is more to this job and the girl's disappearance than what she was led to believe. For there's always a risk in wanting to become a legend, to seize one last chance at glory, to savor just a bit more power, and the price might be your very soul. So this is about... Oh, this is going to be a trilogy? Is this? Oh my god, I did not know that. I thought this was a standalone. Well, that's okay. Yeah, but it's about this older woman who has been a pirate all her life, and now she is just resting, doing... You know, she's just chilling, and she is called to do one last job, which I love that premise. I love that concept. And I just feel like the cover really screams summer to me. The colors, the vibes, the summertime. I want to be a pirate. And so I'm really, really happy, and I am so excited to read this book as well. This is not the beach read that I wanted because it is a heavy hardcover, but I am really thrilled nonetheless. Now, we're going to look at the spine of this TBR, and I swear I didn't pick these books because of the covers, but you gotta tell me that it really does match. Like, the vibes are absolutely there. It is so bright in here, I'm sorry, but the vibes are absolutely here. The colors of this, absolutely. And I have one... Oh my god. Well, let's pretend that didn't happen, shall we? I was saying, I have one nonfiction, two that I would consider, no, maybe one contemporary, one historical fiction, because it is set after World War II. One mystery, one horror, and one fantasy, which I feel like will keep me entertained during the summer months. And I'm just really, really looking forward to reading all of these books and to let you know my thoughts on it. And let me know if you've read any of these books, because I want to hear your opinions on them before I get to them. Do you have a summer TBR that you're really excited about reading? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content. And I'll see you in my next video. I hope you have a nice day, and always remember that life is worth reading.